That's what Fluffy's guarding on the 3rd floor. That's what's under the trap door. The Sorcerer's Stone. A stone that makes gold and stops you from dying. No wonder Snape's after it. Anyone would want it.
Me and Rupert had a great time because we spent about a month in the flying car together. Those were some of the best filming days, I think. It was the best to film. We could joke around and stuff.
It was very good because it was a bunch of sleeping bags, and Dan has us to have his sleeping bag next to this particular girl that he fancied.
Action! For now, let them sleep.
We've just done a take, right? We've just finished a take, and it's taken ages to get it.
In our dreams, we enter completely our own world. You know, it's completely our own world, and we like to swim in the deepest waters and fly.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.
This whole echo.
Yeah, and Michael Gambon had actually been pressing it during the take, I found out.
Between the 3rd and the 4th, there was a much more substantial time off. And so when I was coming back here this year, I was just really, really excited, and because it was just great to be back here with everyone who I've got to know so well after the last few films.
Because in Equus, they were able to sit on the stage, weren't they? Were those...
Well, there were a few people that would... there were a couple of strange experiences on Equus. One was a group of girls who came in. Basically, at the back of the stage on Equus, there was raised seating so that people could sort of look down on us from above as well as being out front. And I was on stage the whole time, so I even if I wasn't in the scene, I would just go and sit on a part of the stage. And I did my first scene, and I went and sat down and waited while they were doing the other scene. And about 10 seconds go by, and then I just hear this voice up in the seats on stage just going, Dan! Dan! Look at us! Look, and they kept, for the entire first act, they were talking to me for the like 1.5 hours, just going, look at us, say something to us. And I was like, I very rarely get angry at, like, audience members, but I came off like, please have them moved. I was like, send them to the second half of Phantom.
What's great about Harry is that he is a flawed character. He is a hero, and he is a really good person, but he's a good person who is mired in self-doubt.
Expelliarmus!
There is a lot of the romance stuff to do with Harry, but it's mainly, I think, the story that everyone will, you know, really get into is the Ron Weasley Lavender Brown thing. It was Richard, Fiona and Harry's last scene of the film, and they were the first people who'd been on it the whole way through to actually finish.
This isn't just goodbye, boy, is it? This is farewell.
I've always enjoyed working with Alan. I mean, the way he thinks about scenes, the way he breaks them down, it's quite inspirational. So I think that sort of forced me to raise my own standards.
But I have learned there's one great club that all of us...
When you first decided to take on these roles, did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into?
Well, I think I had more of an idea than you. I'd done a year of dance training because I knew that I would have to
you know, dancing the show and singing training, but nothing kind of prepares you for the you know, 8 shows a week of musical on Broadway.
Hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man.
Small British horror.
Yes.
What drew you to that?
It was a great script. I mean, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I mean, you know, I've done the franchise thing, and I loved it, and I'm, you know, I know I will never be in a film as commercially successful as that again. So in a way, there's no pressure to try and be.
How did John convince you that this first-time director was going to be able to deliver the goods?
You know, John's he didn't really have to convince me that much. You know, he so clearly had a vision for this film, and ultimately that's the most important thing. You know, I'd rather work with somebody who's never made a film before but knows the film he wants to make inside out than somebody who's made 20 films and doesn't give a shit, you know?
Just wondered what your initial reaction was to Keith Bunning's screenplay when you first read it.
It was, I mean, I was kind of stunned by how original it was and how fearlessly it swapped between genres and it was in equal parts incredibly funny and moving and kind of tragic, but also like tense and dark and violent in a kind of fun way, even though I know violence isn't fun, not in real life, but in films it can be.
You're offered blockbusters. Why do you take a little movie like this that you hope people are going to see?
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah. You've been offered a million blockbusters.
A million.
You know, I think honestly where the most interesting scripts are often being produced by independent movies. This was the best script, the funniest and sort of most, you know, it's not just an hour and a half of people throwing around jokes, it's also like, has like emotional power.
Tons of heart.
Yeah, in the same way that, you know, great romantic comedies like When Harry Met Sally do and things like that.